Even though Tony Lewis is no longer a member of the Charleston County School District's Constituent School Board for District 20, he's still concerned about the future of Stoney Field. I sit down one-on-one with Tony for a special edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And be sure to download the free Quintin's Close-Ups app in your Apple or Google Play stores. Tony Lewis.
Good morning, Mr. Quintin, Washington. Presence. Always good to be in your presence.
Absolutely, same here.
Mm-hmm.
And you talk about presence. Obviously, Stoney Field is actually in the presence of many people's mind right now.
Yes, sir.
We were just over there just a second ago to look at the progress of that.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we with Stoney Field in your mind?
Well, it was a blessing to see what I saw, because you're talking 70-something years or more years ago that nothing was done. But it's a blessing that I thank our Heavenly Father that uses me to get these kind of things done, because I stood up to the powers that be and told them that there's enough of this. You know, you build everybody else a brand new stadium, brand new school, but they're broken and neglected for 70-something years. I'm very thankful to see what I've seen, that the dirt is being put down, but there's more to come, okay?
You talk about the powers that be. Who are those powers to be?
Charleston County School District and the City of Charleston.
When it comes to Stoney Field, who are you looking more at right now? The school district or Charleston, City of Charleston?
I'm looking at both of those government entities, because they're both a part of this situation. Because it's the city property, but the county rents it from it, okay? Lease from it. And I found out a lot as I was on the Constituent School Board. I found out a lot of things what it was entailed about that football field, because back then the Charleston Hawks used to use it. And we used to go to the city to get it, not county, but the city to get it and utilize it. So now I'm so happy and related to see what's going on now.
You talked earlier about more to come. What is more to come when it comes to Stoney Field?
More to come, because we're going to stay on them about getting that stadium, brand new stadium, because that's the deplorable stadium for 70-something years or more, okay? And we owed it. We owe it to the past and the present, okay? Parents, staff, community, coaches, deceased, alive, all of them, we owe it to them.
You talk about, obviously, the past and present, and I know that when I spoke with you for Quintin's Close-Ups for the past 5 years, you said no more Band-Aids, no more patching, you want a brand new stadium.
That's right.
Why isn't there a new brand new stadium in your mind?
Well, again, it was bureaucrat and political things around this football field, stadium, because it was not in the plans for our African American scholars and students to have it, because folks have other plans for it. But I'm not gonna stand by and look at your plans be operated for your convenience, okay? And just ignore these young scholars, students at Brook High School.
Now, obviously, you talked about the plans. What are those plans on the other side of the coin when you think about Stoney Field?
Well, the plans of Stoney Field is you have can be utilized to keep folks' foot in trim by putting a track out there, and safe at the same time with that football field. And it can be for the community, keep them healthy.
When the community thinks about Stoney Field, what do they say now?
Well, I spoke to some folks, and they were really elated to see something that's getting ready to be done after 70-something years or more. You know, again, I'm so very thankful and elated that something is being done after 70-something years, and being a very outspoken person I am, and I'm very strong. I don't bend for nobody, I don't go along with nobody, and I don't compromise, okay? Not on the backs of my people, not on the backs of people at all.
Now, you talked earlier about the plans that you wanted for Stoney Field, and you also talked about plans that they have for Stoney Field. Mm-hmm. What are the plans that they have?
The plans they have are just to do the field, let the dirt set and pile up and to the pack down, and then try to design to put the field together.
Now, when you talk about money, and I like talking about numbers, what exactly are we talking for Stoney Field in this renovation right now?
Well, they were talking about $2.6 million. Okay, but what they're doing now, that's consistent of the grass and all that stuff like that. But like I said again, I'm tired of seeing the same old ugly press box for 70-something or more years. Been there since Hatchet had a hammer, as they would say. Okay, And you have a lot of folks going around now since something is being done, they're sticking their chest out like they're the spearhead. They lie, not telling them their faces to tell a lie. Because where were they at when Stoney Field was going through all this phase for years and years and years? But now something finally being done. Now everybody want to come up and stick their chest out and like, oh, can see what we do. But you lying. Stop lying to the public. You know you never, because you would question, this was a question when you went on different areas, you understand, different government entities, and you've been in a position to help, been forceful about getting this done.
What do you want those people who are telling the lies to tell the truth about?
I want them to tell the truth about what they know they didn't have nothing to do with. Because as I said, they've been on government entities for years, and you've been in positions to help make it done, but you didn't get and make it done. Now you want to go and call me and say you did this and did that, but you're lying to yourself. You know you're lying, and the general public know you're lying. Okay, and you can go back on, if you want to know anything about Stoney Field, go and pull all the records in the Constituent School Board, as long as I was in there, and on Mr. Quintin close-up. And you'll see all the interviews Mr. Lewis was talking about, everything was about Stoney Field, and you go back and look at other folks' interviews with Mr. Washington C. Stoney Field is not in their conversation.
What else should be the conversation about Stoney Field?
Conversations about Stoney Field should be that we're going to sit down, we're going to take that whole stadium down and rebuild it like everybody else.
Now, if you were to tear it down and build a new stadium, how much would that cost?
I don't know the numbers right at hand, but I'm going to find out, because like I said, we're going to stay on these folks till they get it done.
I know that something you want to find out is about what's going on with Burke High School, whether it will close or not.
Yes, sir.
Where are we with this discussion?
Well, again, I did an interview last week, Monday before last, with Channel 4.
I remember that.
They came out and did the story. I sent them information to the rest of the media. But they came out and I spoke to them and told them what was going on. Because they're trying to turn Burke into a baccalaureate and send Burke kids from scholars and students of North Charleston. You're setting up a volunteer situation, a territorial situation, and a criminal situation. And there would not be an academic situation, academic achievement situation. Again, we spoke out about that. It was questioned. The superintendent, she said, just spell the rumors, because Burke and North Charleston not going to be nothing going to be done, because the guys from Channel 2, 4, 5, and the Postal Courier called Dr. Postal, and she said, no, those are rumors. So now I know they told him that Mr. Tony Lewis is on board, and I'm going to stay on it, because I'm not going to stand by and look at things that's going down for convenience for other folks.
Now, what kind of potential criminal activities could happen with this potential move, if it were to happen, although the rumors have been dispelled?
Well, you can have fights every day. There wouldn't be no academic achievement situation. It'd be fights every day, because it's a territorial situation. And that goes back to when Burke and North Charleston players on the basketball team, basketball court at the football field. It's a rivalry. It's a rivalry. It's always been a rivalry. So now you're putting the scholars and students of Burke High School inside North Charleston. There's going to be fights every day.
Now, obviously, when you talk about Burke High School, what is the total student population in your mind?
Right now, I think it's around about 300 something. If my memory serves me, I think it's around 300 something.
What should it be?
Yeah, it should be more than that, because but folks spread the rumor about Burke has a failing school. But Burke not have a failing school is what folks want the school to be, what they want it to be. Okay, but Burke has great things come from Burke High School. You have architecture, you have doctors, you have lawyers, you have all athletes, you have all kinds of coaches, all kinds of teachers, all kinds of things come from Burke High School. So Burke is not a failing school. It's what people perceive things to do. And people can put things out what they want folks to know. They ain't going to tell them what they need to know. Tell them what they want them to know.
What should they know about Burke that nobody else knows?
Well, I'm going to say this again. Burke High School is a great school. Great school. It's the only school in the city of Charleston, high school in the city of Charleston. And again, Burke put out great people. Great people. All kind of people. Look and see all the legends came through Burke. All kind of contractors came out of Burke High School. That's another thing. We wanted to put trade back in Burke High School, because we went and spoke to Boeing gave $1 million, but Dr. McGinley at the time sent the money up, the $1 million up to Stall High School. Mr. Kim Wilson confirmed it in an interview with a principal interview with some of the members of the committee. So yes, Mr. Lewis got us $1 million.
Can you put that back on the table with Dr. Postaway as far as a trade school for Burke?
Well, I'd love to. I would love to sit down and talk to everybody because all folks are not college material. They're hands-on. So I think, and if you look around, all the folks come out of Burke and out of Burke trade are millionaires now. Own their own business, done retired, their kids run the businesses. So I think this would be a better way of help solving the criminal activity and criminal problems out here if we do bring trade back. Because now we're adding on to the situation of to the communities.
And what academic programs can an average student get from Burke?
Well, they get English, I think English, they get biology, they get the new tech and stuff like that. And I still try to figure what new tech is because I don't, culinary and stuff like that. So, but what I'm seeing is you're setting out scholars and students up with, to replace the ones who are there now by putting them in the kitchens, washing dishes, making up beds. We want better for our scholars and students today. We want them to be leaders. We want them to think about presidency. We want them to think about teachers. We want them to think about superintendent. We want them to think about principal. We want them to think about coaches. These are the things we want our scholars to think about.
And what else should people think about when it comes to Burke High School?
Well, it's a great school, again, a great school. And we want the community to know that because the demographics have changed. That's another thing.
Okay.
So you got to say the folks in the demographic, all the things were said bad about Burke, that's trying to keep folks, but don't listen at when she was on the computer and online. Go inside Burke High School and view it. Go and walk the halls. Go and look and see what they're offering before you shoot them down and say that Burke is a failing school.
And obviously Cheryl Swinton has been the executive principal there, I believe, for almost 2 years.
Yeah, going to 2 years now.
When you look at her 2 years ago when she started to right now, what do you say about her as principal?
Well, I don't have nothing bad to say about Ms. Swinton. Ms. Swinton doing her job, but she can do more if her hands are not tied. Because her hands are tied and she can do it with so much and no more. Especially when you're under someone else's leadership who's going to have the best interests of all African American scholars, because I'm going to call it like it is. The superintendent don't have the best interests of our African American scholars. She don't. Her thing is to tear down and divide. That's her job. Especially when it comes to African Americans. Because I've seen it many times.
And as long as Dr. Postaway has been superintendent of Charleston County Schools, has she been visiting Burke? Has she been able to visit Burke High School as a superintendent?
No, I don't think. The only time she came in there was when they got programs going on, or she has something going on in there for Burke High School. Okay, that's the only time I see Dr. Postaway. Okay, but Dr. Postaway to run all these other schools, Academic Magnet, Wando, School of the Arts. She run all those schools.
And let me talk about North Charleston High School, because obviously Academic Magnet is North Charleston as well. Mm-hmm. When you look at North Charleston and its vision, where do you see North Charleston in 5 years?
Well, again, the direction of what I'm seeing, a lot of things are going to be phased out. A lot of things. And you look at the demographics again, how things are changing all the way around. City and North Charleston is changing. And it's pushing folks further up west. Okay.
And let me get back here to downtown Charleston and Stoney Field. What else do you want people to know about Stoney Field?
Well, again, I want them to know that Stoney Field, we want to stay on a situation that's going to get it done, because we're not talking about it, we're going to be about it. We're not lip servicing. We're not going to bamboozle, hoodwink and bamboozle folks about what they're doing, what they will be doing. We speak from the heavens. And when you speak from the heavens and a God-fearing person, you will get things done, because the heavens will help you get it done.
Now, obviously, and when Burke High School the new Burke High School was constructed and completed in 2004, why wasn't Stoney Field a part of that?
Because folks didn't help. The folks who was the the decision makers or the so-called leaders sit down there never include that. Because I was there, I would say, oh, why isn't Stoney Field including this Burke package? Because everything else was included. One who got a new school, one who got a new field. West Ashley got a new school, West Ashley got a new field. So Burke should have been in the same conversation. The stadium, Burke, Stoney Field should have been in the same conversation with the city and the county sitting there. But they didn't have those folks because those folks who, as I said, think they are decision makers, sit down and then make the right decisions for us. A lot of folks, you got so-called alumni, and I call it like it is, are dangerous to Burke High School. Believe me, they're very dangerous.
Why are they dangerous?
Because it's all about money. It's monetary. It's about money and development. Anytime the development comes, he dangle money in front of you, you forget you alumni. But if you alumni, you bleed blue. And that's Burke High School. Now, I went to North Charleston High School. And I should be doing more up in North Charleston, but I live downtown. But if a situation come out about North Charleston High School, I'm going to be right there. Because I guess where I got all my teaching from, North Charleston High School. And I wouldn't sell my school out. Again, you had a lot of these alumni when folks, these developments come with that big dollars, then folks' eyes defer from their school and their alumni, and then they saw dollars, they see dollar signs. Because a lot of them tried to close Burke 3 years ago.
What is the biggest difference between 3 years ago and now, in your mind, as far as closing and what you're saying, trying to close Burke?
Well, again, you know, you have folks still trying, but now you have a lot of myself, and thank God, myself, 3 years ago, stood up to the county board and the school district. That's why Burke was still there, and the staff. And here it is again, coming up again, because folks want a baccalaureate school for convenience, okay? Because it was put to me last year by one of my former colleagues, Ms. Darwin Challenge. She said, Tony, how you feel with putting a baccalaureate school in Burke? I said, no, not in the backs of my little black boys and girls. Okay? So I know that, okay, Tony, if you're not going to be a part of the game, part of this plan, well, we're going to have to put you, we're going to have to get rid of you. But I want to tell them, constituent board, the county board, and the superintendent, and the district, Tony Lewis is much more dangerous to you now. Because you can't tell me, you can't limit me what I can say and what I can do. But when I was on the constituent board, you could limit me to so much with the conversation and what I can do. And then you couldn't do it then, because I'm going to speak from the heavens. I'm going to speak the truth. See, the truth will stand when a lie falls down over there.
The Honorable Tony Lewis, thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate this.
Thank you, Mr. Quintin Washington.
Thank you.
Sir.